You're listening to The Rick Howe Show, where Halifax comes to talk. News 95.7. Now, here's Rick.
Good morning. How's your Thursday going so far? Hope you're having a good day. It's 11:07. Hi, and welcome to the third hour of our show this morning. I'm Rick Howe with you until 12:30 this afternoon. And here's what's coming up for you this hour and next. Wondering what 2019 has in store for your health, your wealth, your happiness? Psychic astrologer Deborah Young joins me in the studio this hour, and I'll make the introduction in just a moment. And after the news at noon, historian and archaeologist David Jones returns with another Nova Scotia history lesson for us. But this hour, it's a new year. What will 2019 be like for you? Joining me in the studio this morning to answer your questions, peek into what the year holds for your health, your job prospects, your love life. Let's say good morning to psychic astrologer Deborah Young. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, Rick.
And how are you? Just get a little closer to that microphone there. There we go.
I'm doing great.
Good. And had a good holiday over the Christmas holidays?
It was so relaxing. It was great.
It was. Everybody needs a break every now and again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
recharge.
The rules here, call them rules, but here's what we want. You give us a call, 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. You need their birth date. And the time of birth, if possible.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it, right?
And where they're born.
And where they were born.
Yes.
All right. And then you can ask about, again, wealth, happiness, love life.
The more specific, the better.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And again, 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. Before we get going here, give us a sense of what you're expecting in 2019 here, Deborah.
Oh, lots of change.
Yeah, really?
We start off with eclipses this month. And so the first eclipse is going to be January 5th, this Saturday. It's a solar eclipse.
Oh.
And it's a partial solar eclipse. It's bringing in a lot of Capricorn energies. So it's a really good time to clarify your goals and what you need to move forward. Eclipses are always about endings and beginnings. So we do hear a lot of kind of endings. They're wild cards. And for some people, they may not have a big impact, but you'll have friends and family that are big, impacted. I could lose my job and end up working in Singapore. They bring in radical change. And so the solar eclipse begins January 5th. The Capricorn energy has to do with goals, has to do with organization, has to do with structure, and also leadership and the whole world in general, basically.
So what's it mean for the year, basically? It's going to be a year of all kinds of change?
All kinds of change, for sure. And there's other markers too. There's an energy that begins in March that hasn't been here since the 1930s. It's the planet Uranus, which is another wild, radical energy. And it made some inroads in 2018, but it begins, it's staying in Taurus. It's a sign that has to do with liberation and waking up, brings in all kinds of new technology, also so-called crises, which, can actually move us forward. And, it hasn't been there since the 1930s. And,
So it's going to be a good year?
Back to the 1930s. There'll be lots of volatility in the stock markets, currency changes. I feel there's something going on with the euro in the next bit of time. So it's going to be a wild ride. And it always ushers in things that we can't even imagine. For example, we're finishing up a cycle of these kind of pop-up revolutions, which has been the case for the last 7 years or so. It also has to do with kind of like self. So we got the selfie the last 7 years. If that's any kind of advancement, I don't know.
I don't know either, but... Yeah. Times are at interesting times. They are.
Then we have a lunar eclipse, January 21st, which is going to be a big event for certainly most of Canada. It's a super full moon. So the moon is going to be 14% larger than it normally appears. It's closer to the Earth. So they're calling it it's a blood moon because it's going to reflect some of the sun's refraction. And it lasts about 5 hours, beginning about 10:36. It peaks at about 1:14, 1:16. And it's going to be this massive, big blood red moon, somewhat blood red moon, coppery moon. And we're going to have a total eclipse here in Nova Scotia, PEI, New Brunswick.
When is that again?
That is January the 21st.
Oh, okay.
Middle of the night.
Something to look out for.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phones. Again, 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. And Jen's going to start us off here this morning. Good morning, Jen.
Oh, finally I made it.
You made it. You did indeed make it. When were you born, Jen?
July 14th, 44, Bridgewater.
July 14th, 1944 in Bridgewater. And do you know the time that you were born?
3 a.m.
3 a.m. All right, and you want to know about what, Jen?
Oh, I would like to know if I will sell my house and move in the near future. Can I ask another thing?
Sure.
Will I be getting a good dog?
I'm
looking for a dog.
Will she sell her house, and will she get herself a good dog? Deborah?
Yeah, dogs are so important. We adopted a rescue from Save a Life Canada the first part of June, and we are unbelievably enchanted.
We had a rescue dog too, and he lived with us for 17 years. Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Save a Life Canada, wonderful organization. In terms of your home, let me see here. There is just checking where your moon is. It's it looks like it's almost like a little bit of a stuck energy. It shows that you've been clearing stuff out, that you've been throwing things out, which is a good thing. Do you see that you've been doing that, Jen?
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's important. There is, I could see your home selling about the end of April.
End of spring, Jen.
Yeah.
Of this year.
This year.
That'll be a miracle.
Yeah.
What about the dog? Will she find herself a dog?
She will. In terms of, I feel there's a dog close by. Do you know anything about that yet?
No.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a year.
It's, I would say within the next month. And if it didn't occur then it wouldn't be until August, early September.
So the end, what was it, this end of this?
Over the course of this month. And if not within this month, then it wouldn't be until August, September.
There you go.
Oh God, you made my day. I hope that comes about.
Yeah.
We hope so, too. Thanks for the call, Jen.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye. From one Jen to another, Jen number 2, good morning to you.
Hello.
Hello there. How are you today?
Fine, thanks. Hi, Rick and Deborah.
Hi. When were you born, Jen?
I was born on January the 12th, 1955.
And whereabouts?
In St. John, New Brunswick.
All right.
And I think it was the wee hours of the morning.
All right. And you have a question for Deborah here this morning.
Well, I just want to know if she thinks I might have any good, optimistic news for me this year.
All right. She's looking for some optimistic news. Deborah, what can you tell her?
Well, this eclipse that's coming up will have a bit of an impact on you. And I'm just going to see what that looks like. Oh, there you are. It's the money's looking pretty good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That's always nice. Do you have a garden, Jen?
Yes, I do.
I love you in the garden. I see that as being just so healthy for you, and I bet you have a really good green thumb.
My favorite part of living.
Yeah. It's a moon thing, and as much as I don't believe in this kind of, fairy tale happiness, I believe we can be happier, and if we know what kind of feeds us and nurtures us, then we do that. That's what we do. So money's looking good. There's a kind of a protective energy, but almost like I feel a little bit of surprise money there. It does show some concern around a sister or brother. Do you know what that's about yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
I lost my brother.
Yes.
And I have concerns about 2 sisters.
Yes. Is one of them older?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at here, too. So, yeah.
But will 2019 be typically a good year for Jen here?
Yes. One quick thing, too, Jen. Do you get the flu shot?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. Because I see some chesty stuff here. So if you didn't, get the flu shot, so obviously do all the healthy things. But if you were to get a cold, it would kind of move in and hang curtains and decorate. So we don't want that.
So keep good care of my lungs.
Yep. And just some yoga would be fabulous.
And love my big sister.
Yes, absolutely.
And stay happy in the garden.
Exactly.
There you go.
Perfect.
Than's, Jen.
Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye. 11:15 is our time. Deborah Young, a psychic astrologer, my guest here till noontime. And, you know the numbers by now, 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. Tara, stay there. You're coming up next. But first we have to take a quick break and then back with more with Deborah Young right after this.
This segment of the Rick Howe Show is brought to you by Colonial Honda, your Halifax Honda dealer.
This is a public announcement. Attention 2013 to 2016 Honda Civic and CR-V owners. Colonial Honda on Roby is where Halifax goes for used Hondas. The demand is great, and Colonial Honda needs inventory. If you own, lease, or finance your 2013 to 2016 Civic or CR-V, even if you don't buy a newer Honda, Colonial Honda will buy yours. Stop in today. Colonial Honda will make you an offer. Halifax chooses Colonial Honda on Roby.
SteelAuto.com. Mom, can we go to Eastside Mario's this weekend?
Yeah, Mom, can we?
Remember, kids eat free.
So you don't have to pay for us.
Okay. Eastside Mario's it is.
Eastside Mario's on Prince Street is proud to support your Halifax Mooseheads. Just a 2-minute stroll from Scotiabank Centre, kids eat free every Sunday and Monday. It's always time for Eastside Mario's, home of all you can eat.
Eastside Mario's.
Prince Street at Market in the heart of Halifax.
Need an electrician? Since 1995, Newman Electric has been your top choice in the HRM. From new construction, service upgrades, and renovations to installations, repairs, and emergency service, Newman Electric's certified and experienced team does it all. Ask for a free assessment today. Whatever the size of your project, Newman Electric strives to exceed your expectations with a dedication to excellence and safety. Newman Electric, the electrical contractor. Visit newmanelectric.ca today.
Renovating? Before you rip out your attic, stop and call the professionals at Envirobate. Dangerous materials like asbestos and mold could be lurking behind your walls, threatening to invade your environment. Envirobate, an eco-friendly company, is trained to dispose of hazardous materials properly and efficiently. Is it really worth putting your family's health at risk to save a few bucks? Environmentally friendly and cost-effective, Envirobate is growing on great relationships. Check their credentials at envirobate.ca.
Next time on The Sheldon McLeod Show.
We'll be chatting about access to information. In fact, we'll discuss the documents that were obtained by Canadian press reporter Ali Thompson. She went looking into how government reacted to the revelation that Christopher Garnier is having his PTSD treatment paid for by Veterans Affairs. Also, the end of the Sable Energy project. We'll also talk about pay equity at the executive level. It's an hour of openness from 2 to 3, and the amazing Kreskin.
Join us for The Sheldon McLeod Show, weekdays from 12:30 to 3:30 on News 95.7.
You're listening to The Rick Howe Show, where Halifax comes to talk. News 95.7. Now, here's Rick.
11:18, psychic astrologer Deborah Young with me here in the studio. And on the line with us this morning, Tara. Good morning, Tara.
Hello.
How are you today?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. You were born when?
October 29th, 79, and I do believe it was around 12:06 a.m.
And whereabouts?
Halifax.
12:06 a.m. in Halifax. And your question for Deborah this morning is what?
Pretty much just general, maybe finance.
Okay.
It's always a big thing.
Health, finances. What can you tell Tara, Deborah? Whoop, I got to turn your mic on. There you go.
You're in for a lot of change, Tara. A great deal of change. You know, it's normal, we can say to worry about money, but you really worry a whole lot. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And and this comes from, your upbringing. It looked like there was a lot of anxiety and a lot of, difficulty, crises around you growing up. And so you kind of, that left an imprint. And it's, I want you to have more confidence as far as money goes, basically. And, to acknowledge, the fear, kind of a shadowy fear energy around money, that it doesn't have to dictate how much you make or how much you get. So, and I do see you actually, having a little bit of fun this coming year.
That's good.
Yeah.
I hope so. I'm planning on going to Mexico.
I see travel there for sure, and I love the travel. One thing as far as health goes, just be a little bit mindful as far as your thyroid goes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a thyroid sciatica. I know you have lower back stuff at times. And of course there's bowel issues here too.
Okay.
In the family. And it's, it's Mexico will be great. You'll have an amazing time. It's about fun and creativity. I do see you connected with your creativity too this year.
I'm actually doing the diamond dots.
What's a diamond dot?
I have no idea what that is.
It's almost like a paint by number, but with diamonds.
Oh, okay. So you're getting that creative juice going then?
Yes.
Indeed. And off to Mexico. When are you going to Mexico?
May 1st.
Oh, I'm sure you'll have a grand time, Tara.
10 whole day with no kids.
Hey, gotta like that. Appreciate the call. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Good morning, Trudy.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
Glad to hear. When were you born and where were you born?
August 7th, 1964, Corner Brook, Newfoundland, at 6:09 a.m.
Corner Brook, 6:09 a.m. And your question for Deborah is what?
Will my house sell this year?
Will her house sell? A lot of people interested in selling their homes this year.
Yeah,
what can you tell her, Deborah?
I think they're getting in just at a good time too, because there will be some changes with housing prices. So I'm just going to have a quick look here, Trudy. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I'm sure you are. It's let me see here. Where's your house? Gee, it's almost like a mystery why it hasn't sold, really. The price seems to be good. You know, it's attractive. It feels good. Everything around it is just really a mystery. Just quickly, have you saged the house?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And still nothing after that?
Nope.
No. I'm just doing one more thing here. It's let me see.
We're not even getting a look.
No, it's it honestly is a mystery why it hasn't sold. It really is, because nothing is, it shows really well, and I know the price is on point. The only time that would come up here, and this is kind of squeezing the rag a little bit, wouldn't be until really about the end of July, the first part of August.
Okay.
So you get a few months to wait yet before you get a bite on your house, I guess.
Yeah, a few more months to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's light at the end of the tunnel, Trudy.
Oh, there sure is. Yes. Thank you.
I appreciate the call. Thanks very much. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning, Rick and Deborah.
Good morning, and your birth date and place of birth, please.
March 7th, 75, Milton, Ontario.
Milton, Ontario. What time of the day do you know?
5 a.m.
5 a.m. And your question for Deborah is what?
Just general health and financial, job change maybe.
All right. General kind of chat here, Deborah, looking for perhaps an opportunity for a job change maybe.
Chris, as soon as I heard your voice, I knew you were a Pisces. I just could sense it here. There is just hewing things up here. You are very intuitive. Do you know that?
Thank you.
It's an energy that you could easily develop. People that are born on the 7th, 16th, or 7th, 16, or 25th of a month have a natural intuition, and anytime they don't pay attention to it, they usually get a little kick in the butt. There you are. It's absolutely. I see a job change around you.
You looking for a new job, Chris?
Quite possibly, yes.
Mm-hmm. This is pretty good news in here. Again, it's one of those energies that it goes back and forth a little bit this year. It's in play right now as far as a job goes, and it would be in play in this area till about the end of February. And end of February, first part of March, and it's the next time wouldn't be again until the summer, till from about July to the end of October. But there's definitely a job change there, no question.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just quickly. I see some digestive issues around you. Have you had that?
I'm not. Hard to say.
Yeah, you'd be prone later on if you're not feeling it right now. You would be prone later on to a bit of a acidic stomach, and I would, and I'm not anti-bread, but I could see it being bread.
You could see it being
bread.
Bread.
Yeah.
Bread.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Chris. All right, take care. Jeanette emails us, says she's at work, so can't call in, but wants to know what 2019 holds in store for her personal life. Says she was born March 22nd, 1961 in Baktouche. Around 7 a.m. And she wants to know if she will find happiness and let go of some of the financial stress that she is carrying right now. And will she have any health issues as well? Jeanette is wondering.
It's, happiness is a whole other kind of topic in there. I'm just going to have a peek here. Oh, there she is. It's, that's really, really tricky in there. Again, you kind of adopted some financial, worries and so forth from your mom in particular. There is, I do feel that you're kind of breaking out of something, though. The month, day, year, time, if that birth time is accurate, there's the very kind of like, hidden energy there. So it's almost like there's big parts of you that you don't know yet. And it's, I feel you spend too much time alone, for one thing. I do see taking some travel later on this year, which is wonderful. And there's a whole kind of restructuring around work going on, reorganization going on. That's just kind of came into play and will be there for the next couple of years. And almost again, kind of what is it that you want to do as far as your work goes? What are your goals and so forth? So that's going to be a bit of a main theme this year as well.
It might have something to do with the financial stress that she's experiencing.
Exactly. And it's tough in there because it's, I can see you going back and forth. One of the key issues with this big Capricorn solar eclipse coming up this weekend is, kind of developing a plan. And we don't have to be rigid about it. But apparently Canadians carry a lot of debt, and start kind of just a step at a time paying off that debt. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to restrict yourself, at all. So it's, it's something that I feel that it's going to work out quite well.
All right, Deborah Young is my guest here till noontime. She's a psychic astrologer, and if you'd like a reading, give us a call here this morning at 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. We've got a full lineup on the phones right now. We'll get to you, but first, we have to take a quick break for a news update. We'll be back after the news with more with Deborah Young. The news is coming up next.
You're listening to The Rick Howe Show, where Halifax comes to talk. News 95.7. Rick will be back in a moment.
We're the Dodge guys on location to Dartmouth Dodge.
Doug, shouldn't we be wearing plaid blazers and bell-bottom pants if we're going to be selling used cars?
Sid, this isn't the movies. However, we do have Metro's best selection of nearly new Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeeps, and most come with factory warranty that give you peace of mind driving.
And don't forget, Doug, they all have an 85-point inspection, plus every one of our cars have an available car-proof accident report pull to put our customers' minds at ease.
Now you're talking, Sid.
Hey, Doug, can we just wear the blazers anyway? Patches on the elbows are coming back,
Maybe for you, Herb.
Okay, how about culture?
Much better.
Dartmouth Dodge, where Nova Scotia comes to save.
Where Nova Scotia comes to save.
Two longtime rivals from Quebec visit Moose Country this week. Friday night, the Rimouski Oceanic are in town to take on the Moose, followed by a Saturday night tilt with Patrick Roy's Quebec Ramparts on 90s night. Puck drops at 7 both nights. For tickets, visit the Ticket Atlantic box office, select Superstore outlets, ticketatlantic.com, or charge by phone 451-1221. This is Moose Country.
Slap, shot, shoot, star. You just can't stop the move.
Ugh, the mall was an absolute zoo today. I don't even know why I bothered going there.
Ever since I started shopping at tsc.ca, I rarely go to the mall anymore.
Really?
Yep. TSC has all the brands and products I love, like this KitchenAid blender, this Curtis Stone cookware set. I even have a new Dyson vacuum being delivered tomorrow. And it's all from the comfort of home.
Wow, now you're talking. Hey, does that blender make healthy smoothies?
Sure does.
Today will surprise you at tsc.ca. Today's shopping choice.
Who do you trust for your exterior renovations? Sardi Siding is proud of their reputation. Whether it's roofing, siding, doors, windows, or a new deck, the certified installers at Sardi Siding are with you every step of the way. Plus, Sardi offers a 10-year written workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer's warranty. Sardi Siding and Windows, providing year-round renovations. Find out more at sardisiding.com and call today for your free estimate, 861-1510.
Number 1 for news in Halifax. This is News 95.7.
It's Thursday, January 3rd. Good morning. I'm Sky Bryden-Blom with a 95-second news update. Here's what's making news this hour. RCMP here in Nova Scotia are responding to shots fired south of New Glasgow. The Mounties received a complaint of shots fired at a residence on the East River East Side Road in Churchville. According to RCMP, at around 8:30 a.m., multiple police vehicles began redirecting traffic in the area due to the incident. Police are asking people to avoid the area and to refrain from sharing images or information about the location online. There are no reported injuries, and police do not believe this was a random act. The Nova Scotia Health Coalition says understaffing rural emergency rooms are creating more than just closed ERs. Over the Christmas break, 8 different emergency rooms were forced to close because of staffing shortages. The coalition's Chris Parsons says Nova Scotia is not alone in its search for more doctors.
Halifax is competing with Shelburne for doctors, and Nova Scotia is competing with New Brunswick and Ontario, and Canada is competing with England and India and Kenya and Ireland for doctors. And so what we're doing is we're just making sure that someone else is not going to have a doctor.
Parsons says if you don't properly staff a rural area, then the health authority might as well not staff it at all, as the increased workload on the doctors that are there leads to burnout, and they will pick up and leave the province. Officials at Halifax Stanfield say a flight from Halifax to St. John's was forced to turn around this morning due to mechanical issues. WestJet Encore Flight 3428 returned to Stanfield at 9:42 this morning. Airport spokesperson Teresa Rathsweiser tells News 95.7 emergency response teams were on scene and responded to the aircraft upon arrival. She says the Q400 plane has 82 people on board. As the drug overdose crisis continues to kill Canadians at an alarming rate, one advocate says there are still gaps in harm reduction services that need to be addressed. Rebecca Jesseman of the Canadian Centre on Substance Use and Addiction says overdose prevention services, including supervised consumption sites and access to the temporary fentanyl reversal drug naloxone, often fail to meet the needs of some individuals relating to language, gender, and culture. The Public Health Agency of Canada says opioids killed an estimated 9,000 Canadians between January 2016 and June 2018. News 95.7 time, 11:32. Right now in downtown Halifax, cloudy, and it's -9. I'm Sky Bryden-Blom. For more news, follow us on Twitter or at halifaxtoday.ca.
Don't just talk, say something. You're listening to The Rick Howe Show on News 95.7.
11:33 here on a Thursday morning, and psychic astrologer Deborah Young is with me here till noontime. And, well, you know the numbers at 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. And let's get to it here. Alec is on the line. Good morning, Alec. Hello, Alec. Are you there? Once? Twice? See ya. Alexandra is next here. Alexandra, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you? I'm sitting in a car wash right now.
All right, we'll try not to keep you too long. When and where were you born, Alexandra?
I was born July 2nd, 1959 at 8:10 in the morning in Halifax.
All right, and what do you want to know from Deborah here this morning?
Just health and travel.
All right, and can you tell Alexandra in the car wash what's in store for her for health and travel this year, Deborah?
I think that's awesome. I really do. It's I'm just queuing you up here. It's have you had your blood pressure checked lately?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know the deal.
I have issues.
Yeah, you do. But you know what? That's good. It's absolutely perfect because that was there. I would have been cautioning you about that if you were in the office. And now you're set to, kind of restructure diet and routine and all of that. So I think that that's absolutely great. And it's obviously important for all of us to keep our bodies moving. And so I see you kind of getting more active, which is great. Now, just quickly, it is really important for you to do something, physical that you find fun. If it isn't fun, don't bother.
Okay.
For me, it could be something different. For Rick, something different. But for you, if it isn't something that gives you this really jolt of excitement, then find something else. And I like the social aspect of it for you as well. In terms of travel, yes, I see some trips coming up here. And again, similar to another caller, I see you having more fun this year.
Oh, good.
There's more play. Now, just quickly, I do see you also. It looks as though you could be asked to help support some family members that are maybe under the weather.
Okay.
And that's fine, but it also talks about developing some boundaries around that as well. I often find that supporters are not well supported.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna have a grandbaby this year, so maybe that's.
Oh yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah. It's.
I'm sure we'll have to do lots for that.
Absolutely.
All right, Alexandra. Good luck with the car wash.
I think we just got through. That's great. Thank you very much.
All right, take care. Let's go next to Debbie here this morning. Hi, Debbie.
Hi.
How are you today? And tell us... Oh, sorry.
I'm fine. My birth date is October the 27th, 55. I was born in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia at 5 a.m., and I was also told by another astrologist I have a Taurus rising.
Not at 5 a.m. you wouldn't.
Well, maybe I get the time wrong.
So what's your question for Deborah here this morning?
Well, my two main concerns is my health, my family's health and my finances.
All right, health and finances, Deborah. What can you tell Debbie here this morning?
Well, Debbie, I'm looking at the 5 p.m. to see if that brought you into the Taurus rising. It doesn't, but around 5:30 p.m. it would. So
it must be that.
Yeah, it must be. That would be important. Taurus rising is great in terms of they're pretty sturdy people.
Yes.
It's there would be a little bit of anxiety come up for you though. Have you been feeling? Did you feel that a little bit last summer?
Anxiety?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And there's different ways of working with that. There's all kinds of ways of working with that. For one, I'd like to see, again, do yoga. I'd love to see you do some dancing. You've been tired lately as well. Have you felt that?
Yes.
Yeah. It's and obviously you check that out with your, healthcare professional. But
yes.
Also almost like a little rashy as well. There is.
You don't know when you say rashy.
Yeah, it looks to be quite miserable, but it'll pass, and it looks like it's being taken care of. There is, unfortunately, I don't see that coming back actually, and also but you are very prone to again kind of a nasty cold around the end of this month, January and early February. So take care with that.
I will.
Yeah. Did you smoke for a while, Debbie?
Yes.
But you've quit.
Yes.
Okay, good. It would be more serious if you were still smoking. So you're not. That's all good. And what was your other question?
Finances. Is it going to be better financially this year?
Yes, it will be.
Good news.
It's good news.
Yeah, but everything is an energy, and I do see that you have a bit of an anxiety energy, and money's an easy thing to become anxious about. That's simple. All of us could go there. It's so that try to again kind of relate to the anxiety in a different way, and it's and again using your body to discharge, and some meditation would be good too.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Debbie. Welcome. Appreciate the call. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye. Eric, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Not too bad.
Good. When were you born and where were you born, and at what time of the day were you born?
I was born April 16, 1967. My mom said around 2:15 a.m. in Etobicoke.
All right. 2:15 a.m. you said? Sorry?
Yes.
All right. In Etobicoke in Ontario. And your question
in Toronto, yeah.
And your question for Deborah is what, Eric?
Tell me what this year is going to be like. Sorry, there's an ambulance going by.
And is this police car coming for Eric?
No, not me.
Good.
Tell me what this year is going to look like, because the last number of years has been a little tough.
All right.
A lot to say here, Eric, and of course we only have just a tiny smidgen of time. There's a lot that I would say. Certainly you're going through a massive transformative cycle. And
oh, yes.
And it's huge. And on one hand, you have to almost like step back from it. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't force your hand. If you force your hand, it's not going to go down nice at all. And it's at all. So it's like obviously you have to be engaged with your life, but you can't be again kind of forcing your hand on things. You went through some real sadness back probably around June and maybe earlier last year around February. But that seems like that's done its job and that's moved on. I do see some work opportunities coming up. Do you recognize that you need work that has some measure of intensity?
I do. Creativity or love of doing it.
Right. Yeah, you can be your own worst enemy. I can certainly see that.
Oh,
but
yes.
It's and checking in with that. There's a bit of a conflict between the energy that rules action and what you need for your own way forward. So but I do see some again career confidence and career opportunities. Which is of course good. And of course Aries is a very idealistic sign. My partner's an Aries, so I have a belly full of Aries. It's I know what you guys are like. You always need some big mission. It's very idealistic. It wants something that is, kind of bigger than themselves in a way. But
yes.
But you've got a lot of heart there too, Eric. Do you recognize that?
Oh yes, maybe a little too much.
No, No, I wouldn't say. It can be difficult for you to communicate your feelings. You could be misunderstood at times, that's for sure. And there's misunderstandings in your family. I can see that. But it's, but no, this year will be better as long as you're kind of pulling back and allowing in a way, if that makes any sense.
Yep, it totally.
Appreciate the call, Eric. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Michael emails to wonder if his wife and he are wondering if their house will sell this summer. He was born July 13th, 1963, 9:40 p.m. in Kingston, Ontario. And again, another request about potential sale of a house at some point this year.
9:40 a.m.?
9:40 p.m.
p.m.
All right.
It's,
July 13th, 1963.
I need Rick to be my new assistant. I don't know if you'd like the job.
I don't know. It depends what you pay.
That's right. Probably not as much.
Yeah, okay.
It's just queuing this up. It's, again, it's such a good year to be doing this because I feel that there will be some changes with housing prices that wouldn't be so favorable later on. Whoa, look at this. That's amazing. It's... yeah, I see it's selling. Oh, there's the time. I'm just opening up another book here. It's actually, this is good. This is good, really good timing. And in general, you have some good, I would say, karma in terms of housing goes. So when it sells, it's going to sell quickly. It's going to be all of, from one day to the next. And that would be, there's definitely some times in February. I could see it closing around April 10th, which is a weird day, but April 10th.
Okay, there you go. He's hoping that he'll get that house sold this year. Brenda's on the line with us this morning. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, how are you, Rick and Deborah?
Doing well. And when were you born and where?
June 21st, 59 at 5:12 p.m. in Halifax.
5:12 p.m., Halifax. And your question for Deborah this morning is what?
Whatever the stars have to tell me.
Is 2019 going to be a good year for Brenda, Deborah?
Every year's a good year.
Yeah, I guess.
It's something that, let me see here. Here we are. And, one thing just of note that, where I come from as an astrologer, I believe that, when we're born, the exact month, day, year, time, there's a real precision, that's involved, and that we're choosing, in a sense, this particular lifetime to move forward, to develop on all kinds of different levels. There you are. It's, where did you go here? There you are. You've been a little extra worried around money?
Not really.
Okay. There's kind of a restructuring or clarification with values, and it's not a bad thing around money, but I see some money coming in, and I see you being sensible about it, which is good news. It's really good news. There is I do see some travel around you too this year. Have you been thinking about that?
We've discussed it, yes.
Yeah. I see it being really good. In terms of your health, I see some lower back and possibly left hip issues there as
yes.
well. Yeah. It's and do you find that you've been anxious about your health, like more than usual anxious around your health?
No, I mean, a couple of years ago I was, but in the last year or so, it's been fantastic.
Great. In general, your health is great. It's something that is, you could have a little bit of a stomach issue before the end of this month, and that's fine, a little bit of fluid retention, but that's passing through town. See about it, obviously, but it's not going to have any big effect on you. Thyroid is another energy that's up here as well that you'd want to keep a check on. But it's
okay.
But basically, you're good, and you have this interesting energy. You have this divine protection in terms of your overall well-being goes.
There you go, Brenda.
What does that mean?
It means that you have a protection energy there. That it's say you could be late getting out the door, and maybe I'm some crazy person you miss on the highway, kind of thing. So you have this protection energy.
Okay. One more quick thing. Will I retire anytime soon?
Retire. I feel it's good for you to work. You're Gemini. You've got all kinds of busy brain stuff. But I can see that you've been stressed around work for sure. In terms of it's there's been a lot of crazy changes, and some change is fine. But I feel that you are adaptable to change. I don't see that as being a big issue. But some of the changes have been just not very good. I feel for the company either. But yeah, I see you. I can see you retiring definitely within the next year.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Brenda. Take care. 902-405-6000 or 1-877-801-8255. Sheila, stay there. You're coming up next. We'll be back with more after this break with Deborah Young.
You're listening to The Rick Howe Show on News 95.7. Rick will be back in a moment.
With our new mobile app at East Coast Credit Union, money management has never been easier. You can cash checks, make deposits, even transfer funds.
Speaking of transferring funds, Dad, I could sure use a little extra cash. Here, let me show you how. Look, just a couple of clicks and your money goes into my account. Everybody's happy.
Nice try, Hillary. Don't you have a test to study for?
Come on, Dad.
At East Coast Credit Union, enjoy a refreshingly honest way to bank. Download the free app at eastcoastcu.ca.
When you order from Save on Fuel, it's like getting free oil because you get more oil for your money. Sign up for the no extra charge automatic delivery service to enjoy free oil all year long. Save on Fuel is HRM's low price leader, delivering high quality furnace oil when you need it for less. By keeping their costs low, they can pass the savings on to you. Order today for fast, friendly, reliable service from Save on Fuel, home of the big yellow trucks that save you big bucks. Call 434-2400 or visit saveonfuelhfx.com.
As a toddler, he taught others to write cursive. Today, his bedroom has a water slide to the outdoor pool. He is the most interesting car dealer in the world. Harvard Auto Sales. Stop in for a test drive and save at the most interesting car dealer in the world. Harvard Auto Sales. Sackville Drive. Save money, my friends.
The busier you become, the more you need convenience. At East Coast Credit Union, we make it easy for you to access your account anytime. Hi, I'm Ken Shea, President and CEO. Perhaps you need access to your account in the evening or on the weekend. Maybe you're in another province or around the world and need to know where the nearest ding-free ATM is located. As an East Coast customer, we're always there for you. Convenient, anytime, from anywhere. At East Coast Credit Union, enjoy a refreshingly honest way to bank. For a location near you, visit eastcoastcu.ca.
News 95.7 has the inside scoop on the next Mooseheads home game. Before every broadcast from Scotiabank Centre, join Gareth McDonald for the Burrito Jacks pregame show. He'll have all the latest news, the starting lineup, injuries, and features on the game's top performers. Who's hot and who's not. Brought to you by Burrito Jacks. Real good food. Search online for the location nearest you. The Burrito Jacks pregame show. Only on your official home from Mooseheads Hockey, News 95.7.
You're listening to The Rick Howe Show, where Halifax comes to talk. News 95.7. Now, here's Rick.
11:48. Psychic astrologer Deborah Young with us in the studio, and Sheila is on the line with us this morning. Hi, Sheila.
Good day.
How are you today?
I'm great, thanks.
Good. When were you born and where?
August 10, 66, Halifax at 3 p.m.
Halifax at 3 p.m. And what's your question for Deborah this morning?
The big three, health, love, and finances.
All right, health, love, and finances. Deborah, what can you tell Sheila?
I'm sorry, was it August 10th, 1966?
Yeah, August 10, 1966, 3 p.m. in Halifax.
Okay, perfect. You need somebody as strong as you are, Sheila. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel you've found them yet, but just let me quickly check here for 1 second. There you are. Interesting. There's kind of like an extra confidence around you this year. Have you been feeling that?
Not so far.
Okay, well, it's coming. It's coming. There is, interesting in terms of your relationships. I see you having two homes in the future. To be like a home and a cottage kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And I really quite like that. Do you recognize that you have some trust issues, Sheila?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's something that is, those are yours to work with. They're not anybody else's. They're yours to work with. It's, and I see you working on them this year, which is good. Have you had some difficulty sleeping?
Yes.
Yeah. It's so important for Leos are big cats, right? You guys are lions, lionesses, and you need your sleep. Otherwise, you typically get sick. I see some issues around your, kind of your knees a little bit. And it's, But yeah, it's interesting in there. In terms of your health, everything else looks fine-ish. It's do you try to get outside?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Leos early, if they're not, they become caged lion. It's so important for them to be, outside in there. There is just quickly. What have you been doing socially?
Not a whole lot.
I didn't think so.
I try to get out every day, but basically in the house.
Right. Yeah. No. It really doesn't serve you to self-isolate at all. Yeah. We all have this one energy. It's called the South Node. Anyone that works with me from an astrology point of view, they're aware that I'm pretty nodey, and it's yours is placed in an area that you could be quite comfortable on your own, but it's not a good idea. Other than that, if you do, then there's free floating anxieties that could come up. You can go into some deep dark places. It does not serve you one little bit. And I see you being a delight. I'd like to see you around more people, and it's and I feel that that's where you would get more community involved. You have your moon in Gemini, which is very healthy for you to be more community involved.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Great. Thank you.
All right, Sheila, take care. Sandy emails to say she was born October 4, 1963, 12:34 a.m. in Halifax. She writes, I have 3 children. Will the 2 youngest find success? Improved health. I'm concerned for my daughter's health, she writes. Improved health for myself would be nice, too. This arthritis is getting me down. And will I ever have a grandchild, she's wondering.
I'm sorry, what time of day was she born again?
12:34 a.m. in Halifax, October 4, 1963.
Mm-hmm. Things may get just a little bit... Oh, there you are. I can see some... Libra rules the kidneys, and with any medication, whether it be arthritis medication or whatever, we really want to be keeping a good check on the health of your kidneys. That's one thing, and it's I feel you're turning a corner. I really do. And one energy that's coming up here that is it's near the end of February. It's a little bit back and forth, but it's going to be here for a couple of years. That I see you feeling more confident with your health. And I feel that there's some other health professionals coming in. You kind of luck out when it comes to health professionals the next bit of time, which is great. I can see the arthritis just wicked in there. And it's I feel you may have some sensitivity to Tylenol or codeine-based drugs as well. But in terms of your children finding success, I feel like, gosh, one feels like they're a little bit on the angry or edgy side in there. I'm just curious whether one looked at the military, specifically the Navy. I feel that would be a good choice. There is, in terms of grandchildren, yes, you're going to have 3 grandchildren.
Oh, there you go. Make Sandy happy. Let's go to the phones again, and Paul is on the line. Good morning, Paul.
Morning, Rick. How are you?
I'm well, sir. When were you born and where?
September 12th, 1978, Halifax at 12:31 a.m.
12:31 a.m. And your question for Deborah is what?
Is employment, love, and I'll go with those 2.
Okay, employment and love life.
Those are pretty meaningful. Those are pretty meaningful. Yeah. So important. It's important for all of us to have some meaningful work, but it's so important for Virgos in particular. Really, really is. So that's a big, certainly a big thing there. It's something that is. I'm just seeing your. Employment. Yeah, you have something favorable going through an area that rules work. The area that rules work and vocation or career are different astrologically, but there's some opportunities coming up as far as work goes. It looks to be something you'd be feeling pretty good about. One of the things I like about this opportunity is that it's going to expand. So I could hire you to do something, but then the role expands. So that's, again, really good. Are you aware that you have some depression?
No, I'm not.
Okay. A little bit of depression and almost like, some other energies in there as well. But it's, I actually see you learning a lot of new things. Have you been thinking about going back to school?
I have.
Yeah. This is such a brilliant time for you to do this. There's a fairly rare energy that's connecting with basically rules your mind, your learning skills, and so forth. And I see this being just a brilliant time for you to do that. You could learn anything at this time. I'm kind of jealous. I'll try to get over it. But it's just brilliant. It really is. I would so encourage that, Paul.
What about his love life?
Love life, it's interesting. You are clarifying what you want in a relationship. Do you see what I mean with that?
Yeah.
It's a big deal, and certainly there's a lot of karmic connections around the planet of karma is moving through your house of relationships. You're a very sensitive guy, and it can be difficult to be a sensitive guy, I think, always, but hopefully you're losing that. And I see a relationship, like there's a relationship ending, there's a relationship beginning.
There you go, Paul.
All right, thank you very much.
I appreciate the call. Thank you. And I think we've got time to get one more caller in here, and that would be you, Marilyn. Good morning to you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. And when were you born, Marilyn, and where?
I was born January 1st, 1954, a few minutes after midnight in the Halifax Infirmary.
All right. New Year's baby, a little after midnight, you say, January 1st, 1954. And what's your question for Deborah here this morning?
I wanted to know a little bit about health and what is in store for 2019.
All right. Give her a glimpse into what this year holds. Deborah?
In terms of health, I see neck and shoulder stuff, arthritis as well. I feel that you have kind of a high pain tolerance, which isn't always a good thing. But it's, so you have to pay extra attention to your body. I have that same kind of high pain tolerance. And again, it's just simply not a good idea. Pain is a sign something's wrong. And, it's a thing there. I see it improving. It's in terms of health. Has there been any kind of bowel issues in your family?
Yes, there has. There's been some bowel cancer with my father.
Right. That's what it looked like. It's so you take good care of that. Part of your system. There is. I see you. Have you been thinking about getting a new vehicle?
Yes.
You get
very much so.
You get such a good deal, Marilyn. I can't tell you. It's you get just a really good deal, and you feel like confident in this vehicle. This is like your favorite vehicle, so that's really, really good. There is.
I've got to pass that on to the other members of the family.
Just one other thing too is there's almost like some anxiety around relationship. Do you know what that's about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that's where a lot of your anxiety kind of thing is coming from right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything good in there?
I love this vehicle, and I see you. I see you traveling a little bit, which is great. It's something that is. It's interesting in terms of the family in there. I see you doing something to a home. There's some restructuring, some rebuilding kind of energy around a home, which is great. So that's
coming shortly. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and that'll be well done. Any delays, be easy with any kind of delays, because I feel that it works out to your to your benefit. So that'll be really good. You'll really enjoy this because you are a Libra rising, and there's always some artistic, creative gifts with Libra rising. So I feel this will give you a chance to kind of shine in that area.
And Marilyn, I'm going to have to say goodbye because we're out of time.
All right. Well, thank you, Debbie.
You're quite welcome.
All right. Bye-bye. And Deborah, again, another interesting hour, and appreciate you dropping by. I know you're a very busy person. What's coming up in the coming weeks and months ahead for you?
Well, I'm have to put together some workshops. Hope to have a workshop. I hope to have that posted to the website within the next few weeks.
Yep.
There's going to be one on love and relationships, actually.
Okay.
And there's my astrology classes. Going to be an intro astrology class, and then kind of an advanced astrology class as well. So there's lots and lots of workshops coming up.
And they can find out all that information online? Where do they go?
My website, DeborahYoungAstrology.com. Facebook group, Deborah Young Astrology as well.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for dropping by. Good to see you, and Happy New Year.
Great to see you. Happy New Year.